Seriously, okay. Before anyone complains, I realize I am the wrong color, the wrong age, and the wrong time period to be doing any of that. But hey, I needed a fucking intro, and there you got it. It was the easiest one. I figured that scene was so iconic that I figured, hey, let's do it. Anyway, hello there, CriterioNate here, number 446, Yasuhiro Ozu's An Autumn Afternoon, Sanma no Aiji, 1962, 113 minutes, color normal Japanese, 1/3. So, as many of us know, An Autumn Afternoon was Ozu's final film. He died, I think, a month later after it was released, I believe on his 60th birthday. I forget what he died of, but yeah, this would be his last film. And I don't know if he was aware that it was going to be his last film, or he knew he was going to die or something. But yeah, I just know a little bit about backstory, But we're left with a very, very interesting movie, and it kind of just really seals what Ozu was trying to, get across, is that family was everything, And a lot of his movies were just that. A lot of his movies talked about family, Tokyo Story and Late Spring, and all these movies seemed to be centered, especially at least the later ones, but even the earlier ones like I Was Born But and Good Morning. Everything was around family, and but a lot of the later ones, especially the ones with autumn in the title, I guess, were very much about the older members of families and how they related to the younger members of their families. In this particular movie, we have an older father, whose name I cannot remember. His name is, what is his name? Shui Hirayama, played by the ever great Shitsuryu, who's been in every friggin' Ozu movie ever. And he lives with his daughter, Michiko, and one of his sons has moved out, and the other one still lives with him, I think. And so he's this older guy who works in an office, and his daughter has not married, and I guess his friends and family ask about her and say, why don't you get married, And so he's relatively just happy with it, and she's happy with it too. She dates here and there, but I guess for the most part she basically just is happy with her situation, and he is too. He's happy with it. I think he likes having someone around the house because his wife passed away some time ago, and there's a period in the film where he meets a barmaid or a waitress who works at a bar who looks a lot like his wife, and he brings his son there to look at her and kind of admires her. His son doesn't see the resemblance, but anyway. So anyway, his friends, what's his name? Shui's friends get together. He and who are they? Sakuma, Shuzo, Kawai, Kazo, and they all get together, and they used to be at school together, and so they get together and talk. And I guess through meeting his friends and seeing their lives, he starts to wonder if he should get Michiko married. For instance, at one point, I think Sakuma gets really drunk, and so they have to help him home. And his daughter he still is with his daughter, and his daughter is a little older than Michiko, and I guess she's very mean-spirited and treats them poorly. And it's explained that because she waited too long to get married, she's stuck in this fate. And it's and again, it's one of those things about Japanese culture that we don't really have here. I personally have again heard a lot of this through my classmates from high school and all that, and when I got out of college and all that, I heard I had friends from foreign countries who who felt like I had it, I had to get married at a certain threshold, and I was 22, and that kind of thing. But a lot of it, it's just how different cultures work. Here in America, you get married at any age. That's basically how it works. There's no limit or taboo or anything like that. It's sometimes irregular to not get married young, but hey, it happens. Especially in celebrity land. Hey, celebrity land, people get married at 50, 60, 70, whatever you want to do. So anyway, back to the plot. So and then there's another bit where I guess he ends up observing. There's a bit where one of the guys, I forget who it is. What is his name? Let me look it up on the Wikipedia page. I forget his name. His name is Koichi. Yeah, Koichi ends up buying a set of golf clubs, and his wife ends up getting upset because she wanted the money she thought she should have saved the money, and she threatened to end up buying a pair of like a bag or something, but she ends up relenting. And so I think it's these little bits of these little pieces that kind of starts to plant seeds in Shohei's brain, and he finally starts to talk to Michiko, and he wants her, and he wants her to get married to, this guy Miura, who Michiko likes. However, he's already engaged to somebody else. He really liked Michiko. However, I guess when he wasn't really crazy about getting her hitched, that's when he liked her, and so, but now that he was just not really, wanting them to really get together, now it's too late. And however, Kawai ends up finding a guy for Michiko, and with one of those perfect time skips that Ozu does, she ends up apparently agreeing and getting married. And the next thing we see is her in the bridesmaid's dress, and I thought she was just trying it out until I realized what Ozu was doing, that thing again, where he just cuts out scene missing. He does all that. He does that a lot through his films. And so the last thing is, she's gone, and he ends up getting drunk, and his son tells him to shut up and go to bed, and he ends up staying up and just, I guess, getting tearful and singing the Battleship March. Earlier in the film, he ends up running into a friend who I guess recognizes him. I guess he was a captain of a ship, and he played. He was the captain of a ship during the war, and they end up, reminiscing about old times, and this guy ends up putting on the Battleship March that I played at the beginning and saluting and all that. So at the end, Shisu ends up. Is it Shisu? No, Shuhei ends up, singing it to himself and kind of getting tearful. And that's basically the film. So again, yeah, this was Ozu's last film, and we've ended on another really strong piece of work. I think there are better films than this one, but there are also worse films than this one. I think this is a good film. It's a middling film. It's higher than it is lower, because of the story and because of the concepts and the way the story tells itself. The way Shuhei ends up becoming convinced that he should get Michiko married. And so I really enjoyed that. I liked how Ozu told smaller stories to tell a bigger story. And that's what An Autumn Afternoon is basically. It's a big story told around little stories. Again, great film. I would have loved to have wondered where Ozu would have gone, if he, with his stories and concepts, if he was still alive. However, we got a fantastic, era of movies from him, and plenty in the Criterion Collection. And I was, talking to myself before I started the review, and I was thinking, like, why don't we have a box set of Ozu? You know, that kind of upsets me that there is no Ozu box. Because we figured you could make a box with all the Ozu that's in the Eclipse series and all the the other ones. It's like if Criterion can make a 100 years of Olympic films box that nobody can afford, then I'm sure you can make a Ozu box that no one can afford, or that everybody can afford. Make it like $300 for like 10 films or something like that, or I don't know, 10, 15 films. Of course, that's asking too much for Criterion, but what am I saying? Anyway, An Autumn Afternoon, great movie. Give it an A. Strong stuff. Again, it's not my favorite. I think probably my favorite. I think I liked Early Summer. I know there were some great ones in the Eclipse series. I know the Eclipser showed me some of those, and there were a couple of those that were really good. And of course we're not quite done with those either. We've got 2 more coming up next season. The Only Son and There Was a Father, and that will be the last. And those are the latest Ozu films in the Criterion Collection. I think there might be more in the Eclipse series. But yeah, I need to watch a lot of his films again, because some of them, again, because of the themes and the overlapping themes, they tend to blur. They really blur to me right now, and so I want to watch them all again, and maybe watch them in order, and just be able to slice them. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was Tokyo Twilight or Equinox Flower. Those were good movies. Late Ozu, Silent Ozu. Yeah, we still got the in a couple of years. We'll get to Silent Ozu 3 crime dramas, and the Eclipser will tackle those. That's series 42. But anyway, yeah. So Autumn Afternoon, great stuff. Supplements. There's an excerpt from a 1978 French television program called Yasuri Ozu and a Taste of Sake, which was, I guess, the foreign title. In other languages, it was called The Taste of Sake, and it was featured Michel Ciment and Georges Perec, 2 French critics, talking about his movies. There's 2 trailers, 2 of the theatrical trailers, and that's it. So, a great film. An Autumn Afternoon. Rest in peace, Yasuri Ozu. So that's it for me. Apologies for being out. Life's kind of hit me, and it's just been a bit of a struggle to try and find time, but also just to find the energy to do these reviews as of late. Just lots been going on, but I'm here, ready to do it. And again, sometimes it is my forgetting to put these movies on hold, and so sometimes I have to wait a while. And so because of that, I don't really need to, I don't remember to update. I could post little status things on YouTube, but I don't care to use those features. Again, I'm keeping it simple. This is, I don't edit these videos very much, so it's just just a guy sitting in front of his camera talking about stuff he doesn't know a damn thing about. That's what this channel is, and that's what it probably will always be. And I'm so glad you guys like it. I'm like at 350 subscribers. Who the hell wants to hear me talk about these stupid movies? So anyway, I guess you do. Hey, but anyway, and if you like what I'm saying, I got plenty more for you. So tomorrow we got some Melville in the form of Le Doulou, and then Monday Le Douzième Soufflé. Probably butchered that. And then probably Tuesday, Costa Garbus is Missing. And probably Wednesday, Bottle Rocket. God, I am not looking forward to more of this Dern Wes Anderson dude. But this is his first film. It might be good. I'm holding out for a possible hit, and there's not a large cast unlike his other movies, so this might be okay. But again, it's Wes Anderson, so it probably won't be. So, unless you're a hipster, unless you're a hipster who drinks Pabst Blue Ribbon or something, I don't know. Anyway, and then I've already put a hold on the next Eclipse series, Kenji Mizugushi's Fallen Women. That'll be here sometime next week, and the Eclipser will get right on that. And we'll probably do that next Thursday, and we'll do one a movie. We'll do one a day. I understand the Eclipser did all of them in one sitting, and I'm like, dude, right on. I mean, get it done. Shoot, because you weren't doing them one at a time like you should have been doing. But if you want to do them all in one day, hey, that's on you, man. More power to you. Wish I had that energy to do more than one Criterion movie a day, but life, So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't waste your money on golf clubs. Yeah, don't waste your money on golf clubs. We'll leave it at that. And that's all. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Oh, and don't miss your chance to marry the girl that you like because you might find somebody else. That one sucked. Forget I ever said that one. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow for little Melville. And until then, goodbye.